The dismissive avoidant is addicted to validation, just the same as an anxious, but it's not the same kind. An anxious is looking to an individual to say, please assure me, keep me validated, let me know I'm okay with you. But that kind of exposure to vulnerability for a DA as a child wasn't safe. It was used against them, weaponized. Abuse, neglect, abandonment were the result of that kind of vulnerability. So instead, what they do is something a little safer. They use their achievements to appease the masses, and that gets their validation from large numbers of people where there's no real risk that they can do anything to that person. So you'll find many of the most successful people in the world, CEOs, sports stars, musicians, are DAs, still seeking that validation from masses. Now, you as the partner of a DA, be aware of this incessant addiction to validation, because you can feed it by stalking their Instagram, by constantly, appeasing their sense of their achievements by encouraging it. There's nothing wrong with encouraging their hobbies and their independent nature as far as what they're trying to achieve. But when you go overboard, you're actually perpetuating the problem. The best thing for you to do as a partner, as a DA, is to start to actually focus on the individual and say, I'm seeing you beyond your achievements. I'm seeing the person beyond. I'm not really interested in what you project to the world as that kind of, I am aligned with my success or my failure by my identity. Show them who you see beyond that, their intent. See, there are three elements throughout life when it comes to things that we're trying to achieve. First is intent, second is outcome, third is the opportunity. The opportunity presented once the outcome has then been produced, whether we learn from it or whether we are aligned by our failure. See, the outcome becomes the least important of the three. But if we're focused on the DA's outcome, success or failure, we are perpetuating exactly the same problem that their carers formed in their nervous system as children, because outcomes are all they believe in. But if we begin to analyze and understand the person behind the behavior, then we start to help them to see that outcomes do not make the person. Our success and our failure depends on so many variabilities that are outside of our control. So how can we then align with that? Are we a winner? Are we a loser? It's irrelevant. What was your intent? And then what is the opportunity after the outcome? Is what we should be focusing on for our DAs to help them to align their identities as acceptable if they get it wrong. There's a big deal. So if you want to help your DA partner begin to understand the sense of self that they ought to discover, take your eyes off their achievements. Sure, encourage them when they get it right and when they do something fantastic, but don't overdo it. Make sure that you're focusing on the person that they are beyond the behavior, beyond the achievement, beyond the failure. Let them know that they're acceptable whether they win or whether they fail, and they'll begin to understand that we see them in a way that they ought to see themselves. Any other tricks you want to learn with dealing with these people who bring out the best and the worst in us, as they do, they do, reach out, let's have a conversation.